Hello, dear viewers. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this edition of the News in English on Rwanda Television with me, Sarah Shinhori. We'll start with the headlines. Rwandans and foreigners alike have commended all that the country has achieved in the past 32 years. And on the international scene, the American retail giant Macy's 50th 4th of July fireworks lit up New York City's skyline on Saturday night. Now straight to the details. The Rwanda Biomedical Center is urging citizens to adopt regular physical exercise as part of efforts to fight non-communicable diseases, which continue to account for a growing share of illnesses here in Rwanda. William Evans Mutawazi with the details.
Car-Free Day, a mass public exercise event that transforms major city roads into safe spaces for walking, running and cycling. With no vehicles allowed on designated roads, participants freely engage in various physical activities around key locations, including the Kigali Convention Center and the Kigali Heights. Many participants say the initiative has helped them adopt a healthier lifestyle. Before I started participating, I was not feeling good about myself. But now, I feel fit and I am able to run longer distances and I am disease-free. The city of Kigali says the program has played a key role in promoting a culture of regular physical activity among residents. The success of this day is just beyond seeing participants here. You will also notice that many people in Kigali adopted the culture of exercising, especially in the evening and on the running tracks and Nyandung Park. All these are indicators that the culture of exercising is now part of Rwandans. RBC says consistent physical exercise remains one of the most effective ways to prevent non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular conditions. We encourage people to exercise for at least 30 minutes and 5 times a week. That is when we can say we will be fighting against non-communicable diseases. During the event, participants also benefited from free screening for non-communicable diseases, with many saying the service reflects the country's commitment to improving public health. We've been liberated in all forms, and RBC has also played its part in ensuring that we fight against non-communicable diseases. All these are as a result of good governance and leadership. RBC says that significant progress has been made in addressing non-communicable diseases over the past 32 years since Rwanda's liberation, although more efforts are still needed to address the growing burden. According to the 2025 Vital Statistics Report by the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda, non-communicable diseases now account for 49.5% of deaths recorded in health facilities, compared to 40% for communicable diseases. This marks a major shift from 2019, when communicable diseases accounted for 70% of deaths, while non-communicable diseases stood at 27.9%. William Evans, RTV News.
Rwanda's embassy in the People's Republic of China organized a ceremony on Saturday to mark the 32nd anniversary of Rwanda's liberation. The event was attended by members of the diplomatic corps in China, Rwandans living there, and friends of Rwanda. Rwanda's ambassador to China, His Excellency James Chimonyo, noted that Liberation Day is a celebration of the courage, resilience, and the vision that have characterized Rwandans in rebuilding and developing the country under the leadership of His Excellency President Paul Kagame. He also highlighted that over the past 32 years, Rwanda has achieved remarkable progress in good governance, justice, security, education, universal healthcare, gender equality and women's empowerment, the fight against corruption, and the advancement of youth and women. He thanked the countries and international organizations that have continued to partner with Rwanda, with special appreciation for China, which has maintained diplomatic relations with Rwanda for the past 55 years. Speaking about those ties, Ambassador Louis Fujian, who represented the government of China at the ceremony, praised the progress Rwanda has made in nation building and economic development, saying their achievements have been made possible by the leadership of President Paul Kagame and the contribution of the Rwandan people. He emphasized that China will continue to support Rwanda in achieving its Vision 2050 and pointed out that relations between the two countries continue to grow stronger, particularly in agriculture, infrastructure, and other development initiatives. Now, in Pakistan, celebrations marking the 32nd anniversary of Rwanda's liberation were held in the country's capital, Islamabad. The event was attended by officials from the government of Pakistan, diplomats, investors, representatives of international organizations, and Rwandans living in Pakistan. Rwanda's High Commissioner to Pakistan, Her Excellency Fatou Harerimana, paid tribute to the soldiers of what used to be the Rwanda Patriotic Army and the leadership of the RPF in Inkotanyi for bringing about significant transformation in the country. She noted that Rwanda has achieved tangible development based on the visionary governance under President Paul Kagame, whose leadership has given priority to good governance, innovation, and long-term vision. Pakistan's Minister of State for Law and Justice, Barrister Akhil Malik, reaffirmed the strong relations between his country and Rwanda and their cooperation in various sectors, including trade, health, education, agriculture, and tourism. In Addis Ababa, a Liberation Day celebration was held, attended by more than 300 guests, including representatives of the African Union, diplomats representing their respective countries, representatives of non-governmental organizations, Rwandans living in Ethiopia, and friends of Rwanda. Rwanda's ambassador to Ethiopia, retired Major General Charles Karamba, addressed the gathering by reflecting on Rwanda's liberation journey. He emphasized that over the past 32 years, Rwanda has achieved outstanding progress in the country's economy, healthcare, education, technology, energy, good governance, and environmental protection. He also highlighted the country's citizen-centered governance, which has placed people at the heart of development and enabled Rwanda to become a model for homegrown solutions and self-reliance. Now, since the country's liberation 32 years ago, energy distribution has increased remarkably, reaching parts of Rwanda many did not believe was possible. Adam Squizera has the details.
Before the 1994 genocide against Tutsi, Rwanda generated slightly more than 40 megawatts of electricity. In 1984, Evariste Kalisa served as the official in charge of electricity distribution in the city of Kigali. At that time, only 2% of households had access to electricity, with 80% of the country's power supply concentrated in Kigali. However, after the genocide against Tutsi, electricity access declined further as much of the country's power infrastructure was destroyed by fleeing forces, mainly members of defeated army. Honorable Kalisa explains that restoring the damage of electricity network was one of the first and most difficult tasks after liberation. As part of Rwanda's integrated economic development agenda, the government launched the Electricity Access Rollout Program in 2009. The program was designed to accelerate household electrification while extending electricity to schools, health centers, government offices, and other public infrastructure essential for national development. Through this program, household electricity access increased from 6% in 2009 to more than 75% by 2024. According to the 2024 World Bank report, Rwanda recorded one of the fastest expansion of electricity access globally between 2010 and 2020, ranking 11th worldwide and 3rd in Africa among countries that made the greatest progress in electrification. As the electricity became more widely available, citizens across the country began using it to improve their livelihoods. Graduates from technical and vocational education institutions, in particular, have used electricity to establish business and create employment opportunities. Under the second Economic Development and Poverty Reduction Strategy (EDPRS2), implemented from 2013 to 2018, Rwanda also expanded off-grid electricity solutions, particularly solar energy, to serve households located in areas where connection to the national grid was not immediately feasible. To ensure that no part of the country is left behind, electricity transmission lines have been extended across lakes, rivers, and streams, reaching even island communities such as Ngombo Island, whose residents now also have access to electricity. Residents say the achievements demonstrate the impact of the government with a clear long-term development vision. Rwanda has now achieved 100% of electricity coverage in health facilities and 84% coverage in schools. Electricity is widely recognized as the key driver of economic transformation, with investors identifying reliable power supply as one of the country's major strengths. Over the past 2 decades, Rwanda has developed electricity generation capacity 383.4 megawatts. Hydropower contributes 184 megawatts, accounting for 38% of the total generation. Peat-fired power plants generate 85 megawatts, 20%, while methane gas from Lake Kivu contributes 79 megawatts, 18.5%. The remaining 13.5% comes from renewable energy sources and electricity imports from neighboring countries. The Ministry of Infrastructure says several ongoing projects are expected to further increase the country's electricity generation capacity. Rwanda currently consumes more than 208 megawatts of electricity daily, while its installed generation capacity stands at 383.4 megawatts. However, demand for electricity continues to grow by approximately 10% every year. By the end of July 2025, overall households' electricity access in Rwanda had reached 84.6%. Of these households, 59.6% were connected to the national grid, 1.5% relied on off-grid electricity systems, mainly powered by solar energy.
Mining companies here in Rwanda spend as much as 3 billion Rwandan francs annually on development projects in communities located close to their areas of operation. William Evans Mutabazi with the details.
In Mwendo Cell, Kigali sector, residents now benefit from a clean water supply system constructed through a mining company operating in the area. The company also contributed to the rehabilitation of a key access road connecting Rudiba area to the sector offices, improving mobility and access to services. Local residents say these projects have significantly improved their daily lives. We used to fetch water from down there, and during summer, we experienced water shortages. But since the construction of this water supply station, everything has become easier. We no longer fall sick rampantly. We are doing very well. The Rwanda Mining Association says that companies operating in the sector collectively invest more than 3 billion Rwandan francs every year in community development projects, prioritizing needs identified by local residents. We usually do have conversations with local leaders who orient us about what is needed, and upon agreement, we sign an agreement of cooperation on several projects. The Chief Executive Officer of the Rwanda Mines, Petroleum and Gas Board, Alice Uwase, says the institution closely monitors compliance with agreements requiring mining companies to reinvest in community development. In the first 6 months, they are supposed to reveal what they will be doing in the area, especially if it is road rehabilitation, water access, or electricity. These are also reflected in their annual reports. Some have built schools, others health centers, but we still need to put more efforts. Currently, 163 mining companies are operating across Rwanda. According to RMB, the mining sector generated over $1.7 billion in 2024, with projections indicating an increase to $2.17 billion by 2029. The sector currently employs more than 92,000 people and contributes 3% of Rwanda's GDP. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us for this edition. Until we see you again, it's goodbye.